Salutations everyone, this is Razor giving you guys some domination gameplay here with the AS VAL, aka the Awesomeness Special. You know, Russian words and all of that. This is a Russian gun, as is, pretty obvious by its, its AK modeled body style. There's a lot of guns like that, especially in Battlefield 4, I feel. But AS VAL, very, very interesting gun. As you can tell, it has a integrated suppressor. It has very small magazine size at 21 rounds, so it's got a very high fire rate, so all those minuscule amounts of bullets in your magazine are going to be depleted quite quickly. Reload isn't too bad, iron sight is pretty okay, recoil is pretty significant, but this gun is really weird. When I first saw the gun in the second assaults package, when I was deciding what DLC I was going to pick up, obviously was going to get whatever had the F2000 in it, but the AS VAL was a gun that intrigued me because it looked like a gun that I've used before that I really liked. It turns out that was the sister gun to the AS VAL, the ASS Ventores or something like that. It was a sniper rifle in the Battlefield Bad Company games. And they look very, very similar, like 70% the same chassis. So I was very, very confused when I unlocked the gun that, hey, it's not under my DMRs or assault rifles, but it turns out it's under the PDW category, which is a really weird thing, especially since it's actually a compact automatic rifle. It's actually an assault rifle. Just kind of small. So it's not a PDW in the least, but I mean, I guess that's what it was in Battlefield 3. I don't think I ever unlocked it, and if I did, I didn't use it that much, I guess, because I don't have very many memories of it. I remember the sister gun from Bad Company games that I really liked using, and the integrated suppressor is a very unique part of this gun. It's very different. There's not a whole lot of integrated suppressor guns, especially back in when this gun was made in like the 1980s and like the Chechen wars. I guess is when this gun first came out, because I remember seeing this gun in some other games. It's not as prevalent as some of your other current really guns that you see in pretty much every game, like your M16s, your AK-47s, your G36s, your M4s, stuff like that. But this one's very unique, so it really stands out in its appearance, and how it handles in Battlefield 4 is pretty unique as well. Like I said, it's a compact assault rifle, but they count it as a PDW, so of course you have to use the engineer class to use it, which isn't that bad. I don't have any qualms against the engineer class. I have to use it sometimes to take out the hundreds and thousands of vehicles in this game. Obviously I'm playing domination, so I don't have to worry about that right here, right now, but I just wanted to showcase the gun. Well, actually, I was not really showcasing it. I was just trying it out, really. As you can see, I just unlocked the Cobra red dot sight, which I got fairly quickly, if you notice. I hadn't played with the gun in a full game until this point, so this is basically fresh out of the box here with the AS VAL and me learning the ins and outs of the weapon. Being a PDW is also, it's unique in that way because its hip fire isn't as good as any of the other PDWs, but it has a high fire rate with some good damage. I believe I heard someone said it's the highest damage per second gun in the game, if you can get bullets on target, which is difficult with this gun since you only have 21 bullets at your disposal with a full loaded magazine and one in the chamber. And it's got a really high fire rate. As you can see, it can dispense people fairly quickly, and it also has really good range at really good damage at medium range. I think it's got the best damage at than any of the other PDWs in the game, and it's got a lot of recoil. Like it's about as manageable as a P90, which has a fairly larger magazine than the AS VAL. Two opposite ends of the spectrum in that respect, these two weapons. But it fills a niche role. It's definitely not something you want to be using in a conquest game where you're trying to take people out at long range. Although it does have a 3 fire burst mode, so I can't say how well that performs. I haven't used it in 3 burst mode as of yet. But I think, you know, the strength in this gun lies in its fire rate and, you know, its damage. It's pretty much unparalleled at close range, and, you know, mid range if, you know, their back is to them, or, you know, you have a, you know, you get first shot. If you get first shot with this gun, you're in pretty good shape. The only problem is with 21 rounds, you find yourself killing one guy, then reloading, one guy, then reloading, two guys if you're lucky, especially if they're grouped up. That doesn't seem to be a big of a problem. So you definitely want to be comfortable with whatever sidearm you use. And I believe on this engineer class, I use the FN57 because of its 21 round magazine, just as big as this here PDW, which really is an assault rifle, but, you know, I digress. The gun's very weird. I think I've extended as much as I could say about how odd it is, but it's unique. It feels a niche role. It's very, very good, very high potent weapon. You know, its fire rate, or sorry, its hit spread is not going to be as competitive as other guns, so you might be losing some fights there, especially if you throw grenades at the wall and almost kill yourself. But there's also, you know, even with its high recoil and low magazine size, it's got some sustainable firepower at mid-range. I find myself, more so than any of the other PDWs, to feel like, yeah, I can take out this guy, you know, and not having to worry about burst firing or, you know, or whatever. As long as I get enough bullets on target, he's probably going to drop dead. So it's different in that case. So it's definitely not something you want that's a jack of all trades weapon. But when it comes to close and even mid range, its gun's pretty beastly. It's only really the magazine size is where it falters in most respects. I mean, it could be better at long range and yada yada yada, but, you know, these weapons need to be balanced, and with this small magazine size, it's obviously an easy way for them to, you know, have some imbalancing of the game without changing the characteristics of the gun. You know, sometimes the game makers will change the way that a gun's fire rate is, or its recoil, or its magazine size, just to balance, but they found a good way to do it here with the AS VAL. Final score is 36-16. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.